Are we sitting uncomfortably? Then we'll begin. So I always felt that Schrodinger's cat was black. So damned familiar to be that experiment of the white man, to be put in a box, to be both alive and dead and theoretical, for the sake of somebody else's critical thinking, for someone else's education, just an impossible image inside someone else's head. Subjected, subjugated, sold and bred and made undead by this, our shared history. That neglects to mention how the torture and murder of small animals is actually a warning sign of psychopathy. But you know this already. And I know this intimately, having an affinity with that moggy, frequently while out jogging and doing laps at dawn and watching others scorn as they cross themselves and cross the street to keep away from me, to keep me from crossing their path. And you may laugh, but I always felt that Schrodinger's cat was black. So damned familiar, that feeling of being and not being at the whims of fate, the superpositions and quantum states of being a number one for weak sexual fantasy and the lynch mob scapegoat simultaneously. That eternal duality of the word hung. About being corrected once by an old white man to say hanged, as if by way of reparations or apology he should correct my grammar and silence me subtly, put a lid on me, bottle me, and store me away in a cool and dark place, as if being seen and heard might make me real, instead of the velveteen victim of the white man's burden that he'd now rather forget and stuff into a box with a poison pill, to be dispatched, to be euphemistically lost. And so, like Schrodinger's cat, I'm both fully assembled and flat-packed, numbered irrationally the root of two worlds some still insist are mutually exclusive, black and British. Two words squished and sealed into this, to be or not to be, in these ghetto experiments by imperial measurements, to be or not to be, poisoned by this maddening society that both co-opted and rejected me, adopted and neglected me, and still imagines me taking jobs while stealing welfare simultaneously, and then continuously puts me in a box. And then ends up hating that box when it comes to define me, and leaves it feeling all of the guilty of its acts, recalling its history, our shared history, founded on all those murders we'd rather not see. Early warning sign of psychopathy, that, the mutability of morality and fact. So you see, I always felt that Schrodinger's cat was black. So damned familiar to me was his story, this eternal duality of being and not being, forever at the mercies of those out there doing the seeing, and their curiosities. And please, please, don't get me started on my bisexuality.